Hello everyone and welcome to some MiSTer FPGA news. This week we will be talking about TapTo project updates, Nintendo 64 news, Sega Saturn updates, and more. Also, check out my channel sponsor MiSTer Add-ons, a place where you can get all your MiSTer needs, things like full MiSTer setups, I/O boards, accessories, and more. Here's a useful tool for MiSTerCade owners. Core developer Jimmy Stones developed a test core for the MiSTerCade. It features audio, video, and control tests, and now is available for the general public. MiSTerCade is a JAMMA extension for the MiSTer FPGA that simplifies the process of connecting it to a JAMMA-capable arcade cabinet. This core that Jimmy Stones developed should come in handy for those wanting to test the components of their arcade cabinet and also own a MiSTerCade. A new version of TapTo is now available for the MiSTer FPGA. This latest release has support for Amiga Vision launching, and it also significantly improves AO486 and Neo Geo support. There are also several implemented fixes to non-working system. Check out the entire release notes for the complete details. TapTo is an entire ecosystem of getting games to launch over NFC cards. For the supported NFC cards, there are official designs to print on the NFC cards themselves, and also retro-style cases to attach to NFC readers. This is all brought together by software that allows you to use NFC cards and launch games. In other TapTo news, Bedroom Ninja developed a new version of the TapTo NFC 5141 case, which is modeled after a floppy drive. This version of the case supports ACR122U PCBs. Bedroom Ninja also introduced the concept of sleds, which are designed to hold different MSC modules in place, starting with the ACR122U. I created a video on launching games over NFC, so check it out if you're interested. If you are an iOS user and prefer to use native apps over web apps, you will be happy to know that Wizzle's remote app has been approved by the iOS store. It's been available on the Android Play Store for a long time, but now iPhone users can use a native version of the application. If you don't know what the remote app is, it is an application that allows you to control many of the MiSTer FPGA functions over Wi-Fi via your phone or any device with a web browser. If you want to see a demonstration of the capabilities, check out my video on the remote app. Robert Pipe, the developer of the Nintendo 64 core, has unfortunately told us that development for the Nintendo 64 core has ended. The reason for this is due to some latency issues found while working on getting the cartridge interface timings correct. These latency issues are preventing further development. Fortunately, less than 5% of the Nintendo 64 library will be affected by these issues, but that means games like Jet Force Gemini and Conker's Bad Fur Day will remain unplayable. While it's sad to see development end, remember that this was supposed to be an impossible core, so it's amazing that Robert was able to get up to this point. This news was also unexpected by Robert, and he really had no plans on what to work on next when development of this core was done. So now it looks like he's going to take a break from core development before deciding on what to do next. He deserves a break, especially after bringing us a PlayStation and Nintendo 64 core back to back. After the break, Robert does plan to officially release the core to the MiSTer FPGA project. The core is also open source, so someone can always take the code and develop it further in a more powerful FPGA platform. If you want to know what's compatible in the Nintendo 64 core, check out Moon Daddy's Google spreadsheet. This week's Sega Saturn core updates involved more accurate VRAM access to the VDP1 display processor. Some hangs on reset were fixed to the VDP2 display processor. For the SCSCP sound processor, there were updates that affected Tomb Raider, and also master volume calculation was fixed. For the SCU DSP, there were accuracy improvements. There are also improvements to the SMPC I/O chip. For DDR RAM, there were changes made for acceleration, and things were reorganized to reduce logic element usage, which will free up some FPGA resources. The core clock was reset and memory was organized, and there was a fix for dual SD RAM systems. So that's it for this episode. I provided links to all my sources in the description. Make sure you also check out RetroRGB.com to see my MiSTer news videos in blog form and to get more retro related content. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and its bell icon so you can get notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.